April 5th. God, this year's sliding by just like the ones in the last decade. Good morning, coffee and chat. Good morning, Deb. Good morning, Darby. Good morning, everyone from rainy southeastern Ohio. You can have it. This is the first day in like 5 days. We've had, well, I can't say no rain in the forecast. We got 16% chance, and in Michigan, might as well be 75%. But hey, it's what they make dusters for, I guess. Hope everybody's had a good week. I'm uh, I'm doing pretty good so far, I think. Except the fact that, having the last 2 days off, I tried to push myself and, walk and keep that exercise thing going that I get at work. And I think I pulled something in my back because it hurts from the base of my shoulder blades all the way to my tailbone. I can barely walk this morning. So going back to work today is going to be fun. Good morning, Tony. Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well today. Man, I could not believe that somebody released a video yesterday, day before yesterday, about the nor'eastern and the snow they were getting in Massachusetts. Then again, I don't know what I don't believe about it. It was just a couple years ago that the 13th of April, we got almost a foot of snow. So I don't know. We'll see what happens of it. This week so far, they're forecasting 50s and 60s for us. So I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. Oh, got a few inches of mud. Hey, Rusty. Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well this morning. Think Google's screwing with me. Chat's playing hide and go seek. Wow. Well, with the end of the world coming in 3 days, I mean, electronic devices, blah, 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 blah. Man, I'll tell you what. Good morning, Sarah. Good to see you, honey. Haven't been on in a while. My greenie passed away last week. We had her funeral this week. Oh, I'm sorry. Your greenie. That's sad. That's sad when any of us have to deal with a passing like that. Sorry for your loss, Sarah. That's terrible. That's a good way to look at it. That's a good way to look at it, Sarah. Yeah. That's kind of that's kind of what I tell myself whenever I suffer a loss is though I needed them, God needed them more. So that's a good way to look at it. Morning, Justin. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing okay this morning. Happy Friday. But yeah, if you guys just happen to see me wince as I move, it's because I mean, like literally from the base of my shoulder blades all the way down to my tailbone. Feels like I had a 40-pound weight laying on my back all night long. I wish they'd let me take a tripod and set it up in the kitchen at work so you guys could just have like a good laugh about, how I'm going to be moving around that place. The wife got home about 10 minutes till 7 this morning, and which is very unusual for her. She gets off at 6. She's normally home by 6:30. She's supposed to get off at 6, be home by 6:30. And she's running about 20 minutes behind, and here I am gimping, sliding my right leg behind me, going out to the kitchen this morning. I couldn't stand up straight. She actually had to bend down and turn her head to the side to give me a kiss, good morning. And it's like, oh, yep, there's no standing up for me. This is going to be cute. So, honestly, I didn't handle it very well. And I didn't get off the couch. I didn't do my laundry. I didn't do dishes. I thought, I can't sit here and stay depressed, so I have to change my mindset. Maybe it's when I got into the whole, hold on. Maybe it's when I got into the whole Native American belief system and stuff. But I went from mourning a passing to envying the person, because I've always believed that, we could accomplish anything. And when we lose someone, I give myself that mindset of envying them because they've managed to accomplish something that we haven't yet. So then the whole mourning process becomes a more of a wake type thing, where we sit and laugh about the things they've done or the things they've said, and keep those fresh, pretty memories rolling. Glad that worked for some. That statement, not me. I was being facetious. Facetious. That's not fun. Did you just sleep wrong? I slept in the normal position that I always sleep in. I'm either laying, on my stomach with my body tilted to the right with my right leg up, or sleeping on my stomach with my body tilted to the left and my left leg up. Same spot, or same spots I always sleep in. I've also got her, what we call her snuggle pillow, since she sleeps during the day when I'm not in bed. She's got a pillow that she snuggles up to, a full-size pillow, and it's always right in the center of the bed with the remote sitting on it for her when she gets home. Man, yeah, I stayed in my 1/3 of the mattress, so I don't know. I do not mourn. I feel or hope that the lost are in a better place. That's pretty good. Morning, Ty. Hope you're doing well this morning out there in Missouri. Mr. Ty. Let me see here. I have got a video coming out on the 9th. So, if the solar eclipse don't completely destroy the world on the evening of the 8th, or the afternoon of the 8th, on the 9th, I have a video coming out that might help you with your presentation. And you do have my permission to record the video, screen record it, however, and edit down to size so you can so you can use it for your presentation to the city board in Princeton. That video is all about calamity, and I threw a lot of detail into it. So yeah, you definitely got my permission to use that video. Grief is different for everyone. There's no one correct way. It's very true, Dev. It's very true. But yeah, it's been a rough couple of days here. Of course, I was off um, Wednesday and Thursday, and just trying to get things done around here. Trying to keep the peace. Of course, I get up butt crack early in the morning and come in here and work on my videos, try to stay ahead of the game because you never know what my schedule's going to do. I'm actually sitting here right now looking at an application for another, for the grocery store here in town. Might start meat cutting. I mean, it's at least it's going to be semi guaranteed same amount of hours through the week. Go in early, get off early. You just never know. With this job, you just don't know what each week is going to bring. Hell, you don't know what each day is going to bring. Doesn't it figure that we have our first sunny day forecast and it's during flipping eclipse? Go figure. Are you going to do the pizza place? And what happened to your current job? I don't know what I'm going to do about the pizza place. I've been pretty depressed about that. Um, the deal that I had going with the partner, um, I guess you'd have to look at a map of the town to see. There's a pool supply place on the main road going in, and then there's a big empty lot on the corner. And when you turn the corner and head towards our post office, that's where the pizza place was going to be. Basically, equal distance from one highway and another highway. And he couldn't buy the pool supply place, so yeah, he kind of sort of pulled out. Um, After we started looking into the equipment, figured out what it was going to cost to completely open the place, worked out a deal on the payback and the partnership and the royalties and everything. So yeah, I'm a little depressed about that. Good morning, Amy. Good to see you this morning. Hope you're doing well. Oh, welcome to the stream. My current job, it's just the same as it's always been. Um, Things are changing day for day for day. Prices are going up. Serving sizes are getting small. Business is dropping off. We don't even know if the place is going to be open by the end of the year. Last week they took away 5 hours from me. Then the pizza oven went down and I was off work for 5 days. So today's paycheck, I probably might have just enough money to get a box of cigars. Um, but that's going to be about it. That's going to be about it. Good. I'm glad you're doing well. Um, let's see here. Throw this cute little thing up there. My little public service announcement. My little PSA. But not much has changed with that, Sarah. Actually, I'm going to do some radio science during the eclipse. You know, ever since the beginning of time, eclipses have happened. The world has not exploded. We've not been in days of darkness. The tides have not really risen and fallen any different than they do every other day. But I'm sitting here and I'm listening to these pseudoscientists and these uh, religious individuals and everybody else talk. I just got done listening to one. She had gathered together all the information that people are releasing about April 8th. Now, understand, the government says that these schools that have already decided to shut down on the 8th, they say they're doing it so the children can watch the eclipse because in this part of the country, it's going to be right around the 3 o'clock p.m., 3:30 p.m. Time frame where you're going to be able to see this thing. I think it's like 3:40 to 3:42 or something like that. Only going to be 2 minutes of total coverage. Um, but you're going to be able to see it for, um, actually happening as the moon passes in front of it. You're going to be able to see, the whole eclipse, but total coverage only 2 minutes. When I was a kid, we went out class review the eclipse. School's letting out early here due to the eclipse. Where I'm in Southwest Michigan, Amy. Um, I'm only probably 15 miles from the Indiana line. But another reason that they're saying that the schools are closing down is because of possible effects on the power grid. You know, and they're warning people, don't all converge on the cities and stuff to watch the eclipse in the main the 15 states as it crosses from Maine and goes across central Indiana and goes down into Texas. Um, but they're saying there could be an interference with the power grid, and they're saying overabundance, overpopulation in the cities and stuff could affect. I mean, they're talking about millions of people going from all around to that main strip that travels across the country. Um, so yeah, who the hell knows? And of course, you have the religious um, professionals that are saying, okay, well, it's going to cross across two different states or two different cities, one in Ohio, one in Indiana, called Nineveh, which is mentioned in the Bible, and it's also going to cross across a city called Rapture, Indiana. So I got no clue. I mean, you guys know how I live. I live day for day. Um, Part of it because of my spirituality, part of it because of my past, my physical past. Um, if we're here on Monday night, if we're not, if Jesus comes back, if Jesus don't come back. So who knows? The excuses for closing everything is the amount of traffic coming into the area. I've heard that too. It's just let me see here, Devilish. I think that area is serious lack of teaching of late. Um, I'm in New York. God, I've always wanted to come to New York, not just to see New York City for the first time, but see, you know, New York. My family, I don't think, has been in New York since the mid 1700s. So I'd love to come to New York. So where does it hit around Intercourse, Pennsylvania? I don't know. That's a good question. I got my black powder for my musket now. I can shoot at a reenactment. Cool. When I was a kid, our teacher taught us why not to look at the eclipse and then how to. Of course, my wife, she spent $5 on 3 pairs of glasses. And I told her, I said, um, the biggest concern about staring at the sun during an eclipse is the increase in the ultraviolet rays and the solar radiation. I said, my shooting glasses are registered to cut out UV rays, which is why when I wear them, everything is much brighter. It completely kills the UV penetration of my eyes. So I could actually use my yellow lens shooting glasses um, to do what those $1.75 paper. Um, so anyway, that's what I was told. But I'll wear the little paper ones. Not that it's going to help me much because I'm already 3/4 of the way blind, but I'll stare with this eye. That way it's already blurry. Let me see here. Our college is taking students to Indiana to watch it. Oh, that's cool. I wish when I was in New York, wish I would have made it upstate. Oh yeah, definitely. I'd love to go up to the Susquehannas. Western New York near Lake Erie. That's cool. I would drive over, let you buy me coffee. It isn't just UV. I can't go. Tony, I don't have anyone to watch the kids. Bring the kids. There you go. Now, why would she come all the way to Illinois to visit you when she can cut 4 hours off her travel time and just come here and watch it? because I pay attention to what she says. I'll be filming it. I'll be honest about it. I'll have the tripod out there, and I'll be filming it while I'm watching it. Just let it roll. So it's gonna be interesting. Oh, let me see here. There's Santee. Good morning, bud. Morning, you cigar smoking rapscallion. Yeah, this rapscallion's in rare form this morning. I can't seem to get woke up because I had such a crappy night sleeping. And when I did finally get out of bed, um, I could barely move. My back's all buggered up. I gotta go back to work today, so it's gonna be real interesting. A few rogues. Like, for example, her school is coming to Indiana. What the hell? Amber Alert on sale, and it's for West Coast, British Columbia. Apparently, there's a threat of them coming your direction or something. I don't know. You have the filters they say are needed for your camera. Oh no, no filters. We are dragging that puppy out and shooting her raw. Besides that, this poor dude can't afford filters for his camera. They make one that clips to your phone and slides over the camera. I would love to invest in one of those, especially for magnified shots, magnification. Um, Poor dude can't afford stuff like that. Hell, that's why I still use a phone to do all my recordings, my live streams, my videos, my editing. I've got a laptop computer here that the screen don't even work on, that I've got shot up on a big screen in front of me. Um, all of my tripods are held together with bubble gum and baling wire. So, okay, so not that bad, not that bad. But I have needed new headphones, new microphones and stuff for a while. But when you work at a job like mine, no, I ran out of duct tape, Dev. I ran out of duct tape a long time ago. I actually had T-Rex tape on it because it's such a strong black tape. But yeah, actually, be honest with you, Amy, the phone that I'm doing this live stream on right now um, was outdated when I bought it. When I first started doing this 5 years ago, um, I had um, an Android phone, and we got stuck in a downpour at a reenactment, and my phone got ruined. So I went out like 2 days later and bought this phone. The same time I bought this phone, which is an LG Stylo One. The same day I bought this, my wife bought the Stylo 2, and that was 4.5 years ago. And her phone didn't last a year, and I'm still using this one to film and edit and the live streams and everything. Of course, they recently changed from 4G to 5G everything. So I had to go out and buy a new phone, but I still use this one for all my filming and everything. So, oh, let me see here. Good morning, Robert. Good to see you, bud. I just seen you snuck in on me. I did get an amp for my HF radio. That's cool. Red green disproves. So yeah, I had a part of my tripod break, and used Old West Repair Rawhide. That works. It worked for a few months. Supposed to do 50 watts out. Meter says it does 84. Nice. Saying here, Drew, I have to use my phone to film, edit. Money I do get goes towards everything else for videos. Small towns are not likely to be 5G. Um, that's a lie. You can still use cell that isn't 4 nor 5. Well, let's just say that the company that I use my phone through, that I've been with for 10 years, they actually switched their whole service over to 5G. So the only way I could continue with them was to have a 5G phone. So that was the whole premise behind me getting a 5G phone. They they sent me out a message last year that their entire operations was going to 5G, so you had to get a 5G phone because 4G phones would no longer work. So that was the whole premise behind me getting it. I actually got a hold of them and asked them about sending me a 5G chip, and they said that my phone was so out of date that the chip probably wouldn't work. So yeah, hence El Cheapo Galaxy uh, O1S. You know, you get what you can afford, and that cost me a whole $38. So, woohoo, $38 for a Galaxy. 5G towers are huge up here. They did come into town and put a 5G tower every block or two. Psst. Yeah, go figure. Mine don't even pick up a phone signal anymore. It's still got the little SIM card thing in it. And for about 2 days, um, for about 2 days after they switched over, I picked up a phone signal on this, and then it just stopped. No more phone signal, no more nothing. Um, hey, me. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. But then again, you know, Boost was just purchased by Comcast, um, Comcast Cable, not very long ago, about a year, 9 months, something like that. And it's not half of what it used to be. So go figure. Beautiful day in Maryland today. That's good. Cell phone companies sell you 5G phones now, saying they own that say only they work, but I have 3G that works. Huh. Like I said, I don't even pick up a phone signal on this thing anymore, so God only knows if it would still work or not. Then again, knowing Comcast, they just switched their whole operation to 5G and shut down everything else. So save money where you can. Sounds like my job. Cut back on hours, cut back on paydays, booger around with your paychecks. I don't think I ever told you guys that one. Um, they came in. We got our paycheck 2 weeks ago. Um, Paychecks came in 2 weeks ago. Every single one of them was missing a whole day's pay because they switched over from paying us from Monday to Sunday. No, they switched over from paying us Sunday to Saturday to paying us Sunday to paying us Monday through Sunday. So one paycheck was for Sunday to Saturday, and then the next paycheck came in and was for Monday to Sunday. So they kept that whole day's pay on everybody. Then, of course, they came in and they told my manager, oh, you worked, 52 hours, when in reality she had worked, no, told her she worked 42 hours, when in reality she had worked 56 hours. So they stole over 15 hours from her. So, and we still got a kid working there that didn't even get a paycheck at all like 2 months ago. Oh, we had no record of you clocking in and out last week. I got pictures of it. I printed it out. Oh, yeah, that was another thing. They disabled the printing capabilities of the computers. So you can no longer print out your hours. You have to take pictures of your hours. On the screen, you have to take screenshots of it to keep track of it now. I love it. I love it. Cell phone, beautiful day. Cell phones ain't phones, they're radios. Next year, T-Mobile phones will talk straight to Starlink, so no dead spots is what they're saying. Be kind of cool to test down in the Appalachians. Because I had, when I first got Boost, they boasted no dead spots anywhere. And I actually had to go to Radio Shack. Y'all remember Radio Shack? I had to go to Radio Shack to get a booster chip to go in my phone because I had one bar that flashed in and out down at my mom and dad's. There were 9 people that live on the plateau in Tennessee, and only 2 of them got any kind of signal on their cell phones at all. So I'd like to test that Starlink thing with T-Mobile down there on top of the Cumberland Plateau. I don't think they could shut down 3G, 4G due to emergency. I don't use data plans anymore. Too many free Wi-Fi spots to go to. It's BS. I get my money if I work them hours. Well, we have no clue where our guy is that even does our paychecks or how to contact him. So all we know is that he automatically goes into the computer each week and pulls that information out, and then he sends an email on Friday morning, and that has everybody's hours worked, pay pay going to him, earned pay, stuff like that. But if you try to email him on that same link, it comes right back to you as a an email that can't receive messages. It's all automated from his end. We have no clue if he's even in the state. So everybody everybody. Hello. Hey, Templar, good to see you, bud. That is why not to buy the top of the hill, not the hollers. I have Starlink on my truck and love it. Hey, Stephen, good to see you, buddy. Contact Department of Employment. They'll sort it out. Oh, it's fishy, Deb, believe me, but what do you do? If you start asking too many questions, then you find yourself on the unemployment line. So making $50 for 2 days' work is better than making no dollars for no days' work. So I have decent luck just tethering to my cell phone. And see, that's what I do when I go out to different reenactments and stuff. Is well with the old laptop. This one here I won't be able to do it with, so I'll be shooting blind. If I go out to film any reenactments or anything this year, is I won't be able to tether my laptop to my phone because I have no laptop screen. So, but yeah, that's what I normally do. Is I turn on my hotspot on my phone and um, tether my computer straight to it, and that's how I'm able to read the comments and stuff like that when I go out and film. But this year it's gonna be a little harder to do. What do you do? They fire you for claiming you work hours and money, you have a good reason for unemployment. Yep. I use the hotspot except with the Pi. I don't want to talk about Pi. I'm hungry this morning. Actual tethering, some more economical battery wise. You guys know me. I'm a technotard. I don't understand how that stuff works. I really don't. I understand Pi. I understand Pi. But I don't understand the difference between tethering and hotspotting, or how Pi figures into tethering. So plug USB cable to the phone, select tethering. Where the hell do you plug a USB cable? I mean, I've got this one that I plug into it, but I don't understand. I don't know how it works. Have Boost Mobile when they told me my phone would work. When they got 5G, they gave me an option of 3 different phones. That was free. Psh, you got lucky, dude. They've been telling me for 2 years that I was due for an upgrade, and when I got a hold of them about free phones, they laughed at me. I said, "We don't have any free phones right now." Actually, it was more like, God forgive me for this. Actually, it was more like, "Hello, my name is Bob. How can I help you today?" So yes, I would like a free phone. I am due for an upgrade. Oh, I am sorry. We do not have any free phones available at this time. But if you go on boostmobile.com and pick out a phone, I'm sure you will find one affordable for you. Hotspot is water well, tethering is a straw. Okay, I kind of get that. I go to Dollar General and buy a prepaid and swap the card. I wish I would have known that was possible. I probably could have got a higher quality phone than what I got right now. The wife and I were playing Words with Friends day before yesterday, and the whole game just started shutting down. It'd go to a commercial, the phone would shut down, it'd restart. It has absolutely no memory, which a lot of people don't realize that if you don't have a memory card in your phone, when you first buy a phone, and I realized it with this one, when you first buy the phone and you activate it, all of the apps that activate automatically on your phone takes up 8/10 of the available memory in the phone. So yeah, it's a gimmick to make you go out and buy, memory cards. And that's the one thing I like about this phone is it has a memory card in it. So all of the video clips and the backgrounds and stuff that I use on a regular basis, my intros, my outros, you know, are all saved on the memory card on this one. I prepay the plan. If you have Wi-Fi, it'll be faster than a tether hotspot. I have a phone that is dedicated to tethering. See, it's reasons like this, Tony, that I wish you lived closer to me, because you could tell me how to do something 100 times, but I'm not going to understand 60% of what you're saying. But if you show me how to do it, it's locked in. I have a phone, memory card, no need on my phone. I have the normal operations of this phone, and I have downloaded 2 games. 2 games. I have got a slot game, and I have got Words with Friends, and it literally has used up 98.75% of available memory. This stuff is pretty foolproof. I don't know. You're looking at a pretty fool, and yeah. Oh, this one here. Let me see here. Let me see if I can pull up some information here. Settings. About the phone. I have an LG Q6. This one here is a Galaxy A02s. A02s. So I believe the S is probably stands for shit, because it's been the worst phone I've ever owned. Got to go feed the doggies and chickens, get back in the shop and finish orders. You have a wonderful weekend. God bless. You too, Amy. You too. Thank you for stopping in. Come back anytime. Once you come here the first time, you're part of the family, and you're welcome back anytime. I wish I could make your icon bigger, because that looks like the tree of life on your little thumbnail. which is very ironic because I have a Tree of Life ring. Had a problem transferring info from old to new. Called them, they set it up and did it for me. Got more gig, more data, and it cost me $5 a month less than it did on the old phone. There's a problem. It's a Galaxy. Now, see, my daughter has always had Galaxies, and they have worked for her great. And I mean, come on, she's 15 years old. Y'all know what she does. 30 hours out of a day. She plays games, and chats with friends. That's always worked good for her. If I have option, I choose Motorola. I've had Motorola in the past and really liked them. Drew, I found out some sad news from the Chamber of Commerce. The little old lady that did the Calamity Jane Day skit with me is in hospice and likely to pass in the next couple of weeks. Aww. Well, that's sad. I would definitely, I would definitely go and visit her if you get a chance. Let her know you're thinking about her and stuff. That's sad. That really is. The best phone I ever had was a Microsoft Windows phone. That's the phone that I had when I first started doing this that got damaged in that storm at the reenactment. And I couldn't find another one anywhere. And that's the reason I went with the Stylo. Best sale I had was my 3GS iPhone. Never had any problems with it till I drowned it. And I thought um, iPhones were supposed to be water resistant. Don't forget too, this phone here, guys. If y'all remember back a few years, which you probably don't, but this phone here actually went swimming in Lake Michigan with me. Wasn't very long after I had this, we took a drive over to the lake to spend the day on a early August, and I chased my daughter out into the lake and completely forgot that I had this thing um, in my pocket. And I was in the water for 5 minutes with, it 2 foot under the water. And when I reached down, I felt it and I ran out and, checked it out, ran back to the blanket on the beach and checked it out. It was deader than hell. There was no life to it at all. And I took it back to the car, took it apart, laid it up on the dashboard, went back to swimming and everything. And in 3 hours, we got back in the car, got ready to head back home. I put it back together, turned it on, it worked like a dream. They aren't allowing visitors outside of immediate family, or I would have visited every day. Aww. Well, I mean, if you could get a hold of a member of the family maybe they could get you in, because I don't see how they can resist family's wishes if she's in that bad a shape. My phone is a Galaxy A03. Oh, wow. I remember the story. You've been with me a long time, buddy. A new guy who got his phone all wet, put it in the microwave. Needless to say, he was out a phone and a microwave. Yeah, you don't want to um, you don't want to take a device that does have metal inside it and stick it in a microwave, because not only will the metal get extremely hot and start melting the plastic and stuff around it, but you've also got a battery in there, and you've got um, the reflective properties of microwaves off of metal. My phone is, I don't know, action something like that. My tether phone is a Motorola. Hmm. Microwave, another radio. Well, yeah. I mean, we used microwaves for communication. So, yeah, yeah. Which is also why when you, um, well, like us at work, I have a pillbox speaker that I will put Pandora on and listen to while I'm at work. And we have to warm up cheese or something in the microwave. As soon as they turn on the microwave, it interferes with the Wi-Fi signal, um, and yeah, the tethering, or yeah, that other thing. It all gets interfered with by the microwave. So don't think for a second, just because your microwave is closed, that you are safe from the microwaves that are emitting out from a microwave oven, because it will interfere with electronic devices, it will interfere with Wi Fi, it will interfere with everything. Unlike you, a novice at this tech stuff, they could make us look like experts. Yep. I imagine he saw some pretty collars before the big boom. I had that old iPhone in my apron pocket, hooked up to a speaker to listen to music while I worked, and poured water over it by accident. Still works, mind you, can't see the screen. We have to do site surveys for radio waves so we don't roast the neighbors. There's a lot more to it than just microwaves. If I had a cheap microwave, it's probably, if it is a cheap microwave, it is probably radio harmonics. Tony, you surprise me more and more every day. Your knowledge is just incredible. But that does, for some reason, that does remind me that there are a couple other things going on Monday, that people are, and I have to laugh at this because I don't really understand it, but um, people are concerned about. For some reason, NASA has decided to launch 3 rockets into the sun on Monday during the eclipse, and the CERN supercollider in Switzerland that has been in hibernation mode for the last 8 months will be reactivated during the solar eclipse because they want to try to capture the God particle. So they want to see how the increased solar radiation and the other particles released during the eclipse will affect the super collider. So those are a couple other things that I forgot to mention earlier that they're very concerned. People are very concerned about with Monday coming up. But it's like I said earlier. If we're still here Monday evening, if we're not, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I know a little bit about a lot of shit. Yeah. Yep. A compendium of information. That is a part of the thing I'm doing here. How propagation is affected on the 10 bands I can cover. That makes sense. Kill the power, turn the power back on. That way it don't go off without me knowing it. I'm just off the total coverage path. Yeah, we are too. It goes just a little bit north of Indianapolis. Um, so yeah, we're off to. That's why we've only got like 2 minutes of total coverage up here. Where if you're within that band, um, that's moving from Maine to Texas, you have more time that you can actually see total coverage. We're trying to figure out how radio is affected across the country. Well, just in case these people are correct about the power grid, just in case they're correct about the power grid thing, make sure and have your generator hooked up, just in case. That way, if the power grid does go down, you can go out, fire up the generator, and still do your studies on how it's affected. But yeah, I guess power grid is likely um, the safest it can be during the eclipse. I think so too. Oh, Dev, yeah, it's nothing. It's another one of those fear things people are discussing about Monday, talking about how the power grid could possibly be affected by the solar eclipse and um, solar flares, things like that. So I mean, it's not. Y'all remember Y2K? Do y'all remember Y2K? Do you remember the fear mongering that went on during Y2K? They were so afraid of the entire everything shutting down at midnight, Y2K. Yeah, and you're right there, Tony. Fear sells product. The huge Shell refinery in Texas went out and spent millions of dollars on these little teeny tiny chips because they were afraid that the locking mechanisms in the connecting lines between the tanks would not know how to operate at midnight at 00000. Um, and they were afraid all the tanks were going to open and spill millions of gallons of crude oil. So they went out and bought these little microchips to go in there that in the event that the computers went down, these chips would lock and continue containment of the crude oil junction release valves or whatever the hell they're called. But you know, I was working security in West Houston, and none of us um, had a permit to carry, but they armed all of us that worked the main gates and stuff of the industrial park that I worked in, because we had like a huge key bank main building there. They thought for sure, once again, that when we hit midnight on Y2K, that the computers are going to shut down and the safe just pop open. So, yeah, we had Scottish oil companies there and banks, and I mean, there was literally millions and millions and millions of dollars on that property. And they thought for sure people were going to storm the gates. They were going to try to loot the place. They armed us. They armed us. We were carrying 9 millimeters the whole time, that whole night. So, and unlicensed. Solar flares the problem. The moon blocks that during lunar eclipse. Luckily, my oven is gas, so there's no power. I'm still cooking using good old-fashioned match. Eclipse isn't going to affect it, but huge solar flare burst might. My brother and I set our computers to 1/1/2000 to test the things not connected to the internet, and there was no problem with any of the 8 to 10 PCs we tested. See, apparently nobody else thought about doing it. That's why everybody was scared to death. The same as everybody's scared to death. Clark Kent, good morning, sir. Hope you're doing well this morning. How you doing, Danny? Hopefully pretty good. More important for others' health, I can make coffee. Well, my brothers and I are opposed to bullshit. Yeah, I'm just allergic to it. I'm allergic to it. When I get subjected to too much BS, I break out in hives. I start smiling and laughing uncontrollably. And, yeah. Good. I'm glad you're good. Man, last night was an adventure, wasn't it, Danny? Trying to get that live stream set up. trying trying to figure out where that echo was coming from. And you're right. When we finally signed off last night, I watched about 5 minutes of last week's live stream, and you can hear that echo on the live stream. But I don't hear anything on those headphones. I get nothing that's even similar to a feedback or an echo. It's crazy, but you can hear it. You can hear it. I did nothing for Y2K. Everything was fine. Electricity goes. I can survive without it. 98% can't. Oh, you're right. You're absolutely right. Back here at work, I need an extension ladder to get out of it. I own 2 propane cook stoves and 4 20-pound propane tanks full. The world will be safe. Yeah, we got a real pretty place set aside to watch the eclipse. Um, just southeast of town here a little bit is an old church. They've got a huge parking lot. That's where we go to watch all the meteor showers and everything because there's nothing around us. There's a religious camp that is used 2 months out of the year. There is a house next to the old church, and other than that, there's nothing for like 2 miles in any direction. So, we're going to go out there and we're going to watch the eclipse out there like we have with the meteor showers of the past and just enjoy it. You know, either enjoy a really cool celestial show or kick back and enjoy the end of the world, whatever. Uh, Oh, and my radio gear is battery powered. I have marine battery right here beside me. There you go. See, you thought ahead. It's more for lightning than much anything else. That makes sense. Going to be an extra long day for me today and tomorrow. Um, my immediate supervisor likes to adjust the schedule so he can be off with his wife, and she don't have to come in until 5 o'clock. Um, so at least I pick up a couple extra hours today and tomorrow. I mean, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna scoff at you know what's it gonna figure out to after taxes about $18, $17. Power surges. If my antenna get hit by lightning, I'm screwed. And that makes sense. I think Monday I'll pop 4 Alka-Seltzers and go running around in the streets for fun. But what you want to do is you want to pop 4 Alka-Seltzers and just hold them in your mouth and take a big swig of Coke and hold it in your mouth, and then put on some old clothes and tear them in a few places and run up and down the streets with all that foam running out of your mouth down your front end, and Every once in a while, trip over a trash can or something and lay there and kind of flop around a little bit, then up and start looking around, chase a few kids, you know, old lady with her, walker going down the sidewalk and got all that stuff running down your face and irregardless, it's going to be fun. Just make sure and have somebody filming you while it's happening. That way, you know, you can put the video up. Oh, yeah, you're right. It needs to be red pop. Yeah, red pop will work. Here, someone would say, look, rabies, and shoot you. But it'd be good entertainment, regardless of whether he gets shot or not. It would be great entertainment. Here they probably here they probably hit me with those 4-foot sticks they have in their cars. All right, Templar. You have a good day, bud. Don't work too awful hard. And we'll catch you Monday morning. Yeah, I just think it's amazing that we have had full eclipses throughout history. But because of the Nineveh thing, and because of the rapture thing, and because the the lines, how they've traveled across the what was it? It was the 2017, 2003, and 2024 lines all resemble the Alpha and the Omega from the old alphabet. Um, God, what else? Everything. It just tickles me how out of all the eclipses that we have had that are recorded, everybody is freaking out about one. So, what do you do besides just sit back and laugh? Pray for or prepare for the worst, but pray for the best, and go on with life. I mean, you have got government businesses that are closing down. You have got schools that are closing down. You have got other shit that is closing down. And, all these people worrying about the power grids going out, about the CERN super collider exploding, um, the second coming, the rise of the devil, everything from science to religion, and they're all just, this could happen, this could happen. It's all location. Isn't that the way it always goes? Location, location, location. I will say that the eclipse that I saw in grade school did make me feel kind of sickly. And it does. It does affect magnetic forces. It does affect electromagnetic forces. It does affect gravity. It does affect. So, yeah, I mean, I've had several people tell me that if you want to see the effect it's going to have on people, watch your domestic pets. They're going to be the most sensitive and the first to respond to it. Um, so who the hell knows? I'm not sure why, but I was pretty uncomfortable. Funny how the world gets together over this eclipse, yet won't take care of everybody for true needs. Yeah, yeah, it's definitely, yeah. Oh, I get my new pacemaker May 7th. Very cool. That is, if I live that. Tony, you're probably going to outlive us all. Hate to be the bearer of bad news, bud, but you're probably going to outlive us all. The, the earth is going to stand still. Remember what happened in that movie. Hey, freedom. Yeah, we were talking about some of that. I did not mention the National Guard thing, freedom. Good morning, by the way. Um, but yeah, I definitely have seen news coverage where they have sent National Guard to different high risk towns and cities and stuff. Um, a lot of weird stuff happening with the eclipse. PEP, National Guard in the States that have cities labeled Nineveh, rockets from NASA. Um, don't forget, the CERN Super Collider is being reactivated during the eclipse. And um, not only does Indiana and Ohio have a Nineveh, but Indiana also has a city called Rapture um, that it's going to cross over. So don't forget about those. Seen a movie Frequency about the portals and talking to his dead father, CERN opening portals that day. Strange shit, yeah. Good morning, Kelsey, you smiling bundle of joy, you. Welcome to the BS stream, where we're discussing all of the nasty crap that's supposed to happen on Monday, but we're going to be out in the country um, watching the um, eclipse. Kelsey, by the way, guys, um, is Steph's cousin, niece, cousin, adopted, twice removed, boxed up. I don't know, but they're related either by blood or by love. They're related. Kelsey was just here last night. Come get your niece and nephew. I got to go to work. I would come and get them and take them to work. Um, I could take them to work, and I would put them to work. But yeah, they may not like that very much. Baby, the other white meat. So the loser was you, I take it. Yeah, I'm the loser. Power grid going down wouldn't be surprising. Happened in the 1800s with the telegraph after the solar eclipse. True. Take 'em with. I'm going to watch the moose and beavers stampede the city during the eclipse. At least you live where you got moose and beaver. And always beat the head out of moose and squirrel. Had to redo the telegraph lines and everything. Eclipse blocks the sun, so no. They are discussing the only real scientific hypothesis. Well, it's not even really a hypothesis. It's a proven fact um, that the the solar waves when the moon is sitting in front of it, you can see the solar waves more prominent on the corona, and they are discussing about the fact of the solar flares and solar waves and stuff like that um, coming towards Earth, which I really honestly don't understand because if the moon is sitting between the Earth and the sun, then what you're seeing are the bursts coming out around the corona, which is going to shoot it out into space. It's not going to come out and wrap around the moon and come to us. But I don't know how it works. Leave Rocky and Bullwinkle alone. No, could an eclipse? Okay, solar system, maybe. Natasha said the Mounties will save you all. Yes, she did. Too much non-compliance. Something got to happen if they want Agenda 2030. Only a small section of solar surface can affect the Earth. Now, I am very curious about the. Let me turn this way so I'm not in the shadows. Um, why NASA is picking that day to fire the rockets into the sun to study the effects of the solar eclipse on the solar surface. Because, there are millions of miles between the solar surface and the lunar body. So if you're there's not going to be an effect on the actual solar surface because something. Think about it this way. Think about it this way. You take a halogen flashlight and you set it on a table on one end of a room, and you go stand on the other end of the room. And at the midway point, you put a round pie pan or something on a stick and set it right directly between you and that halogen flashlight. It's going to cast a shadow on you, but it's not going to affect that halogen flashlight. So I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't understand all the concerns about the sun and what's happening with it and dumb shit. Only small section of the solar surface can affect the Earth. They're firing into the moon's shadow. Actually, Um, they must be planning the 40 whatever, planning on the 40 whatever eclipse. Yeah. Now, see, Freedom, you're saying they're firing into the moon's shadow, but both of the news releases that I saw said they were actually firing 3 rockets into the sun to see how the eclipse affects the solar surface. It affects the radiation and stuff coming from the sun. So not meant to know, Devil's Comet. Of course, I've heard that theory too. The eclipse will be gone and forgotten by the time the rockets get there. And the rockets, red glare, the bombs bursting in air. No, I think they're gonna fire them. They're trying to time the whole thing out to where they can make contact with the solar surface um, at its crossing point, at its apex. So I don't freaking know. What I've seen, they're firing in the shadows to get a reading of solar flares and whatever else from the sun and eclipse between 1:30 and 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Not surprising. Not surprising. Oh, yeah, there are observatories and um, scientific instrumentation that is monitoring everything. Um, Wait, how long does it take to reach the moon from Earth? I forgot. That's a really good question. That's a really good question, Dev. I mean, you would think they would have fired it by now. So, because you sit and look at how long it takes at 16,000 miles per hour to get from the Earth to the moon, and we're going from the Earth to the sun is 8 times further or something like that, 7 times further. So yeah, you would think if it was happening, they would have already fired those off. So I don't know. There are a couple of solar satellites, all these things being monitored. How does all this random stuff happen? It's like 2 days, but that is also some specific lining up. Here to the sun is like 9 days. Oh wait. Here's a theorem. Here's a theorem for you. Y'all can use this. Put this on your channels. This is really going to cost some freaky shit. What if instead of using a standardized rocket, they are using rockets retrofitted with a wormhole device? So they get about halfway between the Earth and the moon, they form a wormhole and open a wormhole to the surface of the sun. So they bypass the moon and all the radiation pours through the wormhole and bakes us like chicken McNuggets in a microwave oven. Y'all could start some. There are people out there that would believe that. A light speed rocket. More concerned with geoengineering to block the sun thanks to Gates, or from the sun to here. If it does take that long, firing rockets in a 2-hour window does nothing. Why not open a wormhole to Uranus? I don't know about you personally, but I don't even want to think about worms and Uranus, worms anywhere near Uranus, or my anus, or anyone's anus. But that's just me. Ah, yes, back to radio. 5G is already working on that. Here's another one. The reason they're firing up the Super Collider in Switzerland is to open a wormhole between here and the sun. So they are going to teleport a portion of the sun's radiation back into the Super Collider, which is going to cause it to melt and consume the Earth. Well, yeah, the Super Collider has been in a sleep state for several months now, and now all of a sudden during the eclipse they're gonna open it. They're gonna activate it again. So what the purpose is behind it, they're once again trying to capture the God particle, the quark, the whatever, to harness that energy or whatever, whatever. But you have to wear lederhosen and foil helmets for that. Don't give me ideas for me filming this eclipse. Don't do it. Do not think for 1 second that I won't make a tinfoil hat and wear it out there while I'm filming. You guys know me. Whatever it takes to get a laugh. I don't give a rat's patootie. I really seriously don't. Oh, let me see here. Nope, 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 nope. I am curious to see how my dogs react to the eclipse. I'm really interested to see how Ralph and Georgie and little chalkboard react to it. Like they've said, animal behaviorists have said that animals being so much more sensitive than humans are, that if you want to see and I said this earlier, if you want to see the effect of the eclipse on people, or how the eclipse is going to affect people, with the increased electromagnetic disturbances and blah, 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 look at your animals, because they're going to start showing signs. It's kind of like, taking canaries into a mine to look for gas leaks, because their bodies are so much smaller and their lungs are so much smaller. Gas is going to affect a smaller being before it affects a larger one. The same with UV radiation, electromagnetic shears, things like that. So, yeah, definitely look at your animals and see, you know, how they react, um, because they're going to start to react earlier in the eclipse, as the moon is moving into place. So I don't know. I don't know. I agree with freedom. It is what it is. What happens happens. If there's if there's one constant in this universe, it's the fact that we have no control. So whatever happens happens. Poor birds. So for what I have looked up, a full eclipse lower electronic fields. I don't know, because that only makes sense that having an object blocking something is going to lessen the field strength. But for some reason, scientists are worried about an increased field strength. Yeah, the only thing we can do is speculate and watch what happens. You are absolutely correct, Freedom. But the one thing you cannot deny, there are going to be millions of people outside, away from their TVs, all watching this eclipse, including millions of teenagers who would normally be sitting back playing Roblox or something like that, will be outside doing something away from their devices. So, no matter how you look at it, this eclipse is causing miracles to happen. True that. Last eclipse 2017, HF died off at the peak of that one. Predictive programming on fear porn. Won't know till it happens. True. True. But hey, I managed to come up with a couple of, you know, options, speculative options of what could possibly happen, concerning the super collider or the rockets, the type of propulsion of the rockets, so we can, we can, yeah, biological prepared soldiers, biological attack might be alternative. Symptoms shows 10 to 14 days after. Any kind of event as suck bring about all the stupid that one needs. Morning, Masha. Glad you could come in here with, 16, 17 minutes left. Damn, you've missed a heck of a show. We've spent most of the show discussing the eclipse, radio waves, um, what they might be doing, what science might be doing with the eclipse. And it's It's been interesting, to say the least. You're right. 17 minutes is better than zero. You're right about that. I'm happy just to have somebody in for, a minute or two. But the cool thing about it is, I can't believe I'm going to say this. With the end of the world impending upon us in the next, what, the 72, 80, 80 hours, 85 hours, whatever the case may be, um, we've had a few good laughs. Because, it's like I said, it's like I've said 2 or 3 times during this stream. Whatever happens, happens. We as human beings, regardless of whether we're from Canada or Russia or China or Japan or South Africa or Italy or the US or Brazil, we can't control anything. So, okay, let's just say these religious fanatics are correct. This is the second coming of Christ. This is the rapture. If you've lived a good life, you got nothing to worry about. If you've lived a bad life, you're screwed anyway. What's it matter? If science is right and all these nasty things start happening, the power grid goes down, and the world is thrown into chaos. If you're smart and you're a good person, you got nothing to worry about. If you're stupid and you're not a good person, you're screwed anyway. So what's the matter? What's the matter? What does it matter? We sit back, we put on our tinfoil hats, we wait for the alien invasion. What's it matter? Rumor has it the eclipse will make Niagara dry up and reverse the falls. Now, see, that would be some cool shit to see right there. That would be some cool shit to see, to watch the falls all of a sudden start flowing up backwards. That'd be cool. No one will know. Christ was pretty clear about that. Yep, you're right. You'll know I've come back when I knock on your door and ask what's for dinner. That is how you will know that I have returned. When you see me in Foot Locker buying a brand new pair of Jordans, you'll know I'm back. What invasion? They're already here. Oh no, we're talking about the bad ones now. We're not talking about the cool ones that are here working with the government and hanging out in the Nevada desert and stuff like that. We're talking about the bad ones. When the moon moves in front of the sun and the corona lights up, satellite or observatories all over the world are going to pick up the 10,000 craft that are hanging out around the sun right now waiting for the invasion. Another good possibility. Good to be aware, to be prepared, but nothing can be done other than being prepared for bad shit. You're right. You're right. Mississippi went backwards in 1811 or 12. It was not overly cool. Well, yeah, the big earthquake, New Madrid. No, they're just coming home. It's a good possibility of that too. Maybe it's the lost tribes of man. You know, the whole Battlestar Galactica theorem. Maybe it's the lost tribes of men who are finally finding their way back. Who knows? Who knows? My cabin is about an hour from the fault. Well, when you and the wife get moved down there, Tony, and you have your coffee pot sitting in the sink, and you turn on the water, and it starts to fill your coffee pot, and all of a sudden, all of your cast iron starts to shake on the walls and stuff like that, and all of a sudden you see the water start flowing back up into your faucet and your coffee pot emptying, you'll know you're screwed. There's a fault line that runs through Lake Ontario. Yep. We have a couple of them that run across Michigan. There's one that runs across central Indiana. There's a couple of them, smaller fault lines that run down through lower Indiana. Um, yeah, they're all over the place. All I know, all I know for certain is every day brings a brand new adventure. That's all I know. And regardless of what happens on Monday between 1 o'clock and 5 o'clock, it happens. We can't control it. We can't change it. We can't alter it. It's going to happen. Hi again, Masha. We're either going to still be going on just like this Monday evening, or we're all going to be sitting in the dark because the power grid went down Monday evening, or the fault lines are all going to start shaking and shifting Monday afternoon, or um, our animals are going to be affected. Our pets are all going to be affected by the eclipse, and they're going to eat us when we go to sleep Monday. Or Jesus is coming back, or we're going to see a huge grouping of alien ships in the corona of the sun, and the invasion begins on Tuesday, um, 10 minutes before we're supposed to be at work. Or CERN's going to open a wormhole up and suck a piece of the solar matter in there, and it's going to cause a chain reaction that melts the Earth. Or who the hell knows? Who knows, guys? All I know is all I know is that people are going to react, or people are going to overreact. People are going to conspire. People are going to fear. People are going to whatever. Made a coffee, maybe quakes Monday afternoon. It isn't like this is the first eclipse exactly. Um, was Google playing hide and seek with you too, Masha? For most here, it'll be just another dreary day. Alien's going to sit back drinking Corona with tinfoil hats, watching the rockets blow the moon up. Niagara Falls is booked solid for eclipse. Gonna be a show there. All those people. And that's exactly what they're talking about with some of our bigger cities that are in the direct path of the full eclipse. Is people are crowding to those cities and those small towns and stuff to be able to witness the eclipse. And you can see it anywhere. You're just going to see it longer in that direct path than what you are up here or down in Georgia or something like that, or in California. It's just, they're worried about the infrastructure, they're worried about the power drain, they're worried about supplies in those cities, they're worried about. I have noticed around here that a lot more people are out shopping, buying food, canned goods, stuff like that, non perishable stuff, or extended life perishable things, just in case something nasty happens. We haven't the money to, but who knows? Um, Masha, I came in at first. Chat was hide and seek. About 100 miles from the direct path. Um, I'm roughly about 100 miles. Like I said, Indianapolis is in the direct path, a little bit above, a little bit below. I think it's 50 miles, or something like that. Um, but yeah, we're still going to be able to see it here, but there's only going to be a total coverage here of about 2 minutes. So, but that's what they're forecasting, and we all know how forecasts go. So we'll see what happens. We're gonna go to states next weekend instead. I'll just stay in hell's inner circle, laughing on Monday. Conspectancies for everything. Yep. All we can do, I mean, that's all we can do is just sit back and watch the show. Whatever happens, happens. We figure out, how can I say it so it don't sound weird? Yeah, me worrying about something sounding weird before I say it. Um, all we can do is sit back and watch, and then figure out what our next step is going to be if something goes bad, and go on about life as normal if nothing goes bad. It's all we can do. I still have a few 5 gallon buckets full of freeze dried food. Well, they call it food. Better to have than not need. You're right. You're right. I will fill the truck with gas Sunday just in case. Might be too late. People might be heading to those gas stations and stuff and taking up all the gas before you get there. You might want to do it Saturday afternoon. Maybe even today if you get bored. Maybe get another blackout and get free food. You never know. But all right, guys, it's that time. Sadly enough, all the theorizing and rebel rousing has to stop. Um, I got to get myself ready to do the thing. So, you guys all have a good weekend. I will be here Monday morning for a very interesting morning coffee and chat. And we'll see what happens. But you guys all have a good weekend. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. God bless you. God love you. I do. And well, we'll catch y'all later. You guys all, Drew gonna show us his eclipse. Drew gonna show us his eclipse mom. Drew's gonna do something. You never know what Drew's gonna do. I'll catch you guys later. Have a good day.